Vusimuzikat Matlala, a businessman whose name has been synonymous with controversy, criminal infiltration, and allegations of deep-rooted corruption within South Africa's police service, appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee on police corruption in a dramatic sitting at Kgoshi Mampuru Correctional Center on Wednesday. Shackled but dressed head to toe in Barbary, Matlala delivered a series of explosive claims indicating former Police Minister Bheki Cele, current Minister Senzo Mchunu, and senior SAPS officials. Seated in the public gallery was his wife Sakani, who attended the hearing to support her husband as he spoke about his alleged role in the capture of the country's law enforcement agencies. Matlala told members of parliament he personally handed former Police Minister Bheki Cele two cash payments, 300,000 rand and 200,000 rand, alleging that Cele had complained he was not showing appreciation after supposedly assisting him in previous dealings. He accused Cele of lying under oath, insisting that the former minister knows exactly why the money was given. According to Matlala, Cele also told him the harassment was experiencing from SAPS officers would cease if he withdrew legal action against the police officials who had allegedly targeted him. He and Cele then placed a call to Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo in his presence, cryptically telling him that Matlala was caught in a Zulu war. What that meant was never explained, but immediately after the call, Matlala was informed he could collect firearms previously seized by police. Matlala further alleged that intermediaries acting on behalf of Police Minister Senzo Mchunu solicited money from him. He said Brown Mokgotsi, an alleged go-between for investigators, requested 200,000 rand for accommodation for police officers following a raid on his business on 18 December 2024, and said Brown Mokgotsi asked for funding for the January 8 ANC celebration on behalf of Minister Senzo Mchunu. I paid 200,000 rand. He claimed Mchunu had also used him to arrange transport and security for personal event, and said if Minister Senzo Mchunu didn't know me, how did I end up giving him 300,000 rand and then 200,000 rand? Matlala said his family endured terrifying raids by masked members of the political killings task team. During the 6 December raid at his home, he said men wearing balaclavas stormed in, forcing him, his wife, and their young children, aged 6 to 11, to lie on the floor with rifles pointed at them, and said, "My kids screamed, they were traumatized. This heartless act has had a profound and lasting psychological impact on my entire family." He also claimed officers refused to present a warrant and confiscated his cell phones and firearms. A second raid, this time at his offices on 18 December, resulted in more firearms being seized. Matlala's friend, businessman Jerry Boshoga, had been kidnapped around that time, and the PKTT reportedly suspected Matlala of involvement. The committee probed Matlala about his relationship with powerful figures within the criminal underworld. He confirmed providing security services to slain taxi boss King Mswazi Jotham Zanemvula Msibi, believed to be part of the notorious Big Five crime syndicate, however denied having ties to another alleged syndicate member, Katiso KT Molefe, despite both their homes being raided on the same day. Matlala refused to be drawn into answering questions about the controversial 360 million rand SAPS Health Services tender awarded to his company in 2024, insisting he cannot be held responsible for the police services failure to conduct due diligence. Committee Chairperson Sophet Lachanyane reminded him that information disclosed before Parliament could not be used against him in future criminal proceedings. Evidence leader Norman Arendse reiterated that only exception was if he lied to the committee. Arendse also questioned Matlala's dealings with Acting National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, noting it was odd that he directly contacted a National Commissioner over a dispute involving access to a police college facility he had leased. Matlala told committee he grew up in Mamelodi East, raised by a single mother, and has 9 children with his wife, Sakani. After matric, he began trading informally before a conviction for trading in illegal goods. In 2017, he registered a security company, then later secured contracts with school businesses, and construction sites. He said he believed the raids, harassment, and allegations surrounding him were part of the coordinated effort to intimidate and derail his business ventures, particularly relating to his Medicare 24 lease at the SAPS Police College. The catch also told the Parliament's ad hoc committee that he has trouble remembering a lot of things due to spending months in solitary confinement. He was responding about the raid at his Pretoria home by the police, where his firearms and other items were seized. Madlala struggled to remember certain dates around the raid at his property after being questioned further by Arendse. Meanwhile, the CFO of the SAPS described the tender awarded to the CATS company Medicare 24 Tshwane District as an embarrassment. She explained that she did not form part of any structures when the contract was awarded. It was flagged as possible irregular expenditure in the first week of March 2024 and confirmed as irregular in May. Regarding the contract, 466 million rand was disclosed as irregular expenditure. A few invoices remain in the system for this tender. However, Timpane has instructed her team to stop the payments. She further stated that you have people who are doing procurement and breaking the rules of procurement. Is this deliberate to commit fraud? This is a culture in SAPS where people commit irregular expenditure and there's no serious accountability. This is a concern.
Why would it be necessary for you to meet with former Minister Cele?
Because he said he will help me to tell these people to stop harassing me.
So you're getting offers from help all over the place?
Come again?
You're getting offers of help all over the place after the raids?
Yeah, I will say so.
But before you now meet former Minister Cele, you had already initiated court proceedings?
Yes.
So, when do you meet him and where do you meet him?
I met him on the 23rd of December. It was in Durban at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Okay. Is that the first time you meet him?
Mr. Bekele?
Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't know him before then, other than being previous Minister of Police?
No, I just knew him as being the previous police minister.
Yeah. Okay. And did he give you any indication that he knew about you and what you do and your business interests? This is Minister Cele.
You mean while we were speaking?
Yeah. Did he say, oh no, I know you, I read about you, I heard about you?
Yeah, actually, he knew about my problem and when I was explaining it to him. But he didn't, I think he didn't know the face maybe, but the name and what was happening, he knew about it.
Okay. So when you met him, was it your impression or clear impression that he knew about these raids on your property?
No, he told me when I was explaining him my problem. He was aware of it.
He was aware of it, okay. And then you say at paragraph 37 in the last line that Minister Cele then requested you to withdraw the court proceedings. And you describe it here as a gesture of goodwill, and he assured you that he would assist.
Yes.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.